And now for some breaking news in connection with the NCP versus NCP symbol war. The Sharad Pawar faction has moved the Supreme Court over the clock symbol. The uncle is seeking to restrain the nephew in connection with this. The Supreme Court is set to hear Sharad Pawar's plea on October 15th. Remember, earlier this year, essentially the Sharad Pawar group had filed a petition. This was in the apex court itself. They were challenging the decision of the Election Commission to essentially recognize Ajit Pawar's NCP as the real NCP and allotting the party symbol of the clock to them as well. We're crossing over to my colleague Harish to bring us more on this. Harish, we're learning that the Supreme Court is set to hear Sharad Pawar's plea on October 15th. Let us know about what else is listed in this plea.
Yes, that's right, Aisha. In fact, a big development as far as the NCP versus NCP which is the real National Congress Party and who will have the clock symbol. It's a very big development because now Sharad Pawar has moved the Supreme Court seeking to restrain Ajit Pawar faction from using the clock symbol during the upcoming Lok Sabha election. And the Sharad Pawar faction also appeals that till the Supreme Court adjudicates on the appeal filed by Sharad Pawar faction against the Election Commission of India recognizing Ajit Pawar as the real NCP and handing over the clock symbol, Ajit Pawar be restrained from using the clock. Essentially, Sharad Pawar says that during the Lok Sabha election, there was a lot of confusion and dilemma because Sharad Pawar faction was fighting on the man blowing a Turha faction symbol, while Ajit Pawar fought on the clock symbol. So there was a confusion in the mind of the voters as to who represented the NCP. So the NCP Sharad Pawar faction stood to lose a lot of votes. At the same time, Ajit Pawar wrongly gained a lot of votes. So Sharad Pawar wants that is not repeated in the assembly elections and therefore wants to restrain Ajit Pawar from using the clock symbol. Sharad Pawar urges that Supreme Court should direct Ajit Pawar to approach Election Commission of India seeking a fresh symbol to fight the assembly elections. Remember, Sharad Pawar had suffered a big setback when the Election Commission of India had ruled that Ajit Pawar is the real NCP and had handed over the clock symbol. The Election Commission of India had gone by the legislative majority of the Ajit Pawar faction because Ajit Pawar faction had 42 MLA support while Sharad Pawar had only 12 MLA support. But Sharad Pawar argues that the legislative majority criteria is wrong and violative of Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court had in Sena judgment in 2023 May ruled that not the legislative majority but the strength of each faction in the organization echelons should be considered and not the legislative majority. So the Supreme Court has agreed to hear this petition filed by Sharad Pawar on October 15th. So all eyes on the hearing. We'll have to wait and watch whether Sharad Pawar gets any relief and Supreme Court in fact directs Ajit Pawar to apply the Election Commission of India for a fresh symbol to fight the assembly elections. Back to you.
All right, Harish, thank you so much for joining us, giving us all of that context. We'll essentially have to wait to see what the Supreme Court has to say about the Election Commission decisions there and about Sharad Pawar's plea. Essentially, they'll also have to make a decision on which faction exactly it's time up for. Now,